Welcome to the Connection Show, everybody. It's been a little while since I've been on the show because I've been so busy with everything else. So I'm so excited tonight. We have Lucyna on the show. Lucyna, welcome. Thank you so much for making time to show up, to be here with us all the way from Scotland.
Yes, hello, Linda. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Like I'm all the way in Sydney and you're in Scotland, and it's just amazing how we can connect like this. Yeah. So tell us, share with us what you're up to. You are a healer, yeah?
Right.
You do healing work.
Yes, that's right. I'm a healer and a coach, and I'm just so passionate about, empowering others. And since I was a little girl, really, I always love to see people thriving. That was, I just felt so um, lighten up by that, and also when I was 6 years old, I was very much curious about when my granddad passed away, about consciousness, human consciousness, and that curiosity led me to profound spiritual experience whereas I've connected with the life force, the spirit, or universal intelligence, God, whatever everyone calls it, right? And that when I was shown that we are not the bodies who we truly are, we are the spirits. And that was profound because it helped me to address the huge fear of death when I was a little girl. So, moving on through all my life, I felt that connection, and I've managed to utilize this to create beautiful things, manifesting things, and I gained beautiful perspective on life and for also near-death experiences, and to really show us, who we truly are. And so I am really passionate about using these skills, experiences to help others create better lives for themselves and their families and global communities, really. So yeah, and that's what I'm feeling passionate about.
That
Yeah.
sounds amazing. So you said that you were about 6 years old. Your grandfather passed away and you felt
Yeah.
the life force. Just explain that for us for a little
Okay.
while. So because when you were 6 years old, like take us back in time. What exactly happened and how did you discover that at such a young age? When I say
Mm.
discover, meaning how did you know what it was? Because 6 years old is quite young, isn't it?
So what happened around that time? As I mentioned, my granddad passed away. So I was just confused, and I was asking my mom, where is he? And the typical answer is, well, in heaven. So I looked towards the heaven and thinking, but where? When is he coming back? And so yeah, I could not let go of that, and also that created a fears within myself, because I thought, okay, if I die, I will go somewhere out there, and forever I will be circulating in some kind of void, in darkness possibly, and that triggered many sleepless nights for me. I uh, I just that might sound quite silly, but back then I remember asking God, when it's my time to pass to the spirit, to just crash that consciousness, so I'm not aware of circulating somewhere forever and ever. So that was huge. So I couldn't sleep, and as I said, after yeah, when I was 11 years old, I had that. I was shown. Basically, my spirit left the body, and I could see myself from the perspective of the ceiling, look at myself as a body, but I knew I wasn't my body. I was that spark of energy, and the blissfulness I felt, it was incredible. I knew things without knowing how I know. It almost like it's different. It was very difficult to describe in words. So that was, yeah. So I
And
knew that was different consciousness. That's ultimate consciousness. It is amazing. It's just, yeah.
wow, sounds
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
So when that happened,
yeah.
when your spirit left your body, was it due to, were you well? Were you unwell? Was there any accident? Were you sleeping or what happened? How did that
Okay.
moment happen?
Very stimulus, what's the word? Stimulus, sorry, very. sorry, I wasn't in any danger of life. It just happened very naturally. And I clearly remember I was in the circle with my friends and my coach after swimming lessons. And it's so profound. I can still, you know, when I recall this, like right now, when my coach was and what was happening. So I kind of like flew, my spirit just flew up, and I felt such a blissfulness. Is that, you know, unconditional love, happiness, the best feeling ever, you know, you can access. And looking at my body, I just knew this is not me, you know, this is just a vehicle here on earth, you know. And I also remember that my coach turned towards me asking me a question when my spirit was floating, and I couldn't answer. I just looked at him like with that empty eyes, you know, and I was shouting from the kind of ceiling, you know, saying, look, you have to answer it. And I couldn't until my spirit aligned with my body. And I said, what did you say? You know, and but I remember I felt so, I never read about this kind of, you know, experiences. So I felt very concerned for quite a long time. I decided not to speak to anybody, even my mom, who is a healer. I don't know why I never raised that with her. And I waited another about 9-10 years when I went to university, and I started physically, you know, researching, and I find out that more people had this experiences. So I felt like I'm not, you know, losing my mind. So that was such a relief. I have to tell you that, Linda. And also I remember at the age of 21, I was doing a questionnaire with my peers at university, asking them about their perspectives on death. And people were just shocked, and they just did not want to hear about death, because for them it was like such a, you know, heavy topic. And they said, look, you're such a happy, bubbly student, why are you going into this kind of heavy energy? And I said, for me, it's not heavy. It's like, this is actually, death is just, you know, it's not the end of our life. This is just, you know, transition. But it was difficult, obviously, for people to understand that, why I was doing this. So, yeah, that, and also, well, later on, so a year after, you know, when I was at the university, and I was involved in marathon dance for 32 hours, and my heart stopped. So then that's where I had the near-death experience. But then what I was shown, Linda, it was the same. I was connecting with the same life force, the same power. So a few years down the line, when I started doing more work as a healer, doing healings with people, during the healings, the same energy, I was connected, and I could not put those puzzles together, those pieces together, till maybe, you know, just a few years back now, when I thought, oh my gosh, whether I had, you know, whether there was a danger to my life, or it wasn't, or was during the healings, I was connected always with the same power. And I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, Linda, because you've been, and I truly believe this is not just, you know, it's just not myself. It's, we all got this power to connect within ourselves with the spirit, you know, and truly we can use this for such amazing things here on earth. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I completely understand, because my father does channeling. But just for our viewers and listeners who might not have that experience, I'm going to pause, slow down a little bit to share the experience a little bit more. So I'm just imagining you were 11 years old and you were at a swimming lesson. Your coach were there, your friends were there. You were swimming. So you were awake.
No, sorry, we were actually, after the swimming, so we were in the circle, just, you know, summarizing maybe what was happening after, you know, finishing the lesson. So we were out of the swimming pool, in the circle, standing in the circle, and that's what happened.
When your spirit left your body, were you still standing, or did you then fall down, lay down? You were still standing.
Still standing. My body was just still. I just kind of, you know, and I remember that moment, and I felt, my body is not me. This is not who I am. This is just empty shell. But I was there floating, and that's what I that's what resonated. That was truly me, who I was. It was just, it was so surreal to kind of, it was no judgment, it was the beautiful blissfulness, basically. That's how I can describe. And I heard some kind of, almost like a ring, in the background, some gentle music, something like that. And just knowing things without knowing how I know, but I knew. It's almost like telepathy. That's how it, but obviously back then I probably wouldn't verbalize that way. But yeah, it was just, profound.
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. So while your spirit is up in
Yeah.
the air, looking down, do you remember whether you were still alert, awake, or did you close your eyes, or did you kind of go into a passive mode, so-called, or were you still like quite alert, like normal? Do you remember?
Again, I couldn't associate myself with the body, so I was just the spirit. My body was almost like, let's say, if I had my eyes open talking to you and my spirit left, I stayed the same way. So I didn't appear to others as I was like unwell or eyes closed. My eyes were still open. I was just not responding in a way to people trying to engage with me. And to be honest, I don't know how long this lasted. But as I said, it was so profound that all those years when I was worried about when it's my time to die, just dissolved that completely. I could die the next day and say I'll be happy, connect with that beautiful energy and spirit, So yeah, it's I don't know how else I can. But I truly remember the body wasn't me. It is this floating. But I couldn't, I did not see myself as a form. It was just,
Just light. Just
light. Yeah. There's no body there.
Explain it, isn't it? I truly understand what you're saying. I can really appreciate it because my father does channeling. When I was really little, I witnessed it. I never would have spoken about it before. We never have. So you know that I was born in Vietnam. He's from China. So one day in his 50s, I think in his 40s, I don't know the exact age, but probably around his 40s. And one day it just happened. And so I never talk about it. We never talk about it, except we never talk about it as like this, as a discussion. We pretty much grow up, when I say we, me, my siblings and I, we pretty much just grow up with it. Because one day it just happened, like you, right? Wide awake, while he's still awake, things just happen. And so at first it was amazing. Like I think we all go through a bit of puzzlement at the beginning to make sense of what it is. So I believe my mother went through the same thing, what is going on, what's happening, And so once they accepted it, it was just part of them. It was just part of life. It's just part of dad. That's how we know dad. So then we never really talk about it as such. We never really discuss about it because we would have people come for healing. People who are unwell just come, and he has healed so many people. He's turning 99 in 2 months' time. Yes, very blessing. So he's turning 99 in Chinese, because the Chinese, the way they calculate it, when you're in the belly, you're already 9 months old. So that's 1 year old. So in a Western calendar, it's 98. But if you ask him, he's already 106.
Okay.
So I know I completely comprehend and understand what you mean. And so he has healed so many people, never taken any gift, any money for it, just did the healing when they come. And even after he came to Sydney, Australia, people found out that he moved here and they still come. Until when he moved to the nursing home, that he couldn't do anymore. Excuse me. But it's so fascinating, for people who have not had such experience, for you to share. This is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So from 6, 7 years old to 11, those few years must have been really difficult then, or was it a lot of curiosity,
Yes,
adjusting. How did you adjust with it, and how did your mother help you through that, if that's okay to share?
that's fine. Well, as I said, my mom is a healer, right? And I don't know why I didn't open up to her and share that experience with her, that worries about me worrying about passing away, and you know. So yeah, it was absolutely dreadful, because so 4 or 5 years I've been, I had the nightmares, I couldn't sleep. My mom, although I didn't say anything, I would ask her to come to speak with me, to help me, to soothe me, and that's how I kind of, I suppose, coped. And my mom helped me with that. Always, yeah, yeah, that really helped me till the age of 11 when that happened, and just free me totally in an incredible way. And yes, and the beautiful thing is, as I said, we all can access it, and that's what I'm teaching people now as well. We can all access this beautiful energy. It's not,
That's
just yeah.
amazing. So how long have you been teaching people now?
So for the past few good years, I had so many challenges. Well, I couldn't actually understand why I've been shown this, or I was like, why, what am I supposed to be doing maybe with this, right? Then when I had the 10 years down the line, I had near death experience when I almost died, and then age 38, at giving birth to my son, again near death experience, and then that kind of, in 2009, it was the time when, right, I have to embrace my gifts, and I need to be okay with it. Okay. So I decided to change my path from running more retail business and go into healings and try to, first, it was healing myself because I wasn't well after giving birth, not well at all. So connecting with the energy helped me to address this. And then I started doing healings with friends, families, and then, seeing other people. And again, few profound experiences with clients I had where I could connect the 11-year-old experience when my spirit just left spontaneously without having, problem with my, and then there was no danger to my body. And then when I was 21, not 22, should I say, when my heart stopped, it was the same energy. And then when I started doing the healings, I could connect with the same, I could feel the same power. Okay, so then I realized I could connect those finally in my fourth decade of living, on this planet. I'm like, fine, I'm getting somewhere with this. So that's why I'm so passionate and writing also a book about human potential, how we can harness this. So I can now connect those dots, and I'm still working towards, setting a frame so it's easier for people to understand how to do this. And but it's every day, whatever we're doing, it's not. Well, I have been doing some workshops, and it was more addressing, overwhelm with if people were overwhelmed with stress. So it was the mental health. So I was using in that context. But yes, the book is going to be having more details about, how we can utilize, how we connect to pure potential within ourselves, which I'm very, I feel quite excited about that, to teach more people, about this. But it's very much about how we show up every day, really. And that's why, Linda, your teachings resonates with me so much, because it's not about huge concept, but it's the simplicity, the strategies you teaching, the simplicity, which is beautiful, what is needed right now. Simple techniques, easy to implement, and our attitude and the connection. I mean, connection, building a relationship with others. It's all that can help us to become more aware about who we are, connecting with ourselves, with our hearts, and then connecting with others. It's like the onion peeling, what you were mentioning before, peeling the onions layers, and connecting with global community, you know, and the universe. So yes, so your teachings, you know, it's really, you know, I'm having they really resonate with me very much, very much. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That led me to the curiosity question. I'm curious, what what got you pick up the book then?
Right. So now I didn't know about your book, right? Till the universe connected us somehow on Facebook.
Yes, that was really fascinating, wasn't it? Usually there would be common friends, usually there would be something, but we didn't know how we connected.
No.
We had no idea. Out of nowhere we were connected. It was fascinating to this day.
And you know, as I've mentioned that before to you, Linda, and you invited me to the Free Hearts meeting.
Yes.
And, you know, I just felt that pull towards you. And normally, because again, we were strangers, right? And I thought, normally I would do some research about who that person is.
Yes,
never
some profiling.
done it. No, no profiling. I completely trusted you, your beautiful energy, you know, and that's what it is. When you've got that connection, you don't need to, you know, you feel on that spiritual level someone's soul, so to speak. You know, you don't need checking, you know, their background or who they are, or, you know. So basically, when you connect, when you invited me to that meeting, that was very powerful because, you creating that beautiful space for people to come along. It's non-judgmental, very safe space, and through playing games and simple, you know, using simple tools, you're helping people to connect, to reflect, to stop, reflect, and connect within themselves, connect, go within. And that's how we can, you know, grow, you know, and address any issue, especially right now during these challenging times, human history, you know, we're facing. And so this project of yours, it's a wonderful, Linda. You know, I can truly see you as a global catalyst right now, you know, helping people implementing those simple strategies with addressing our mental health issues.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, I still remember that day, that meeting when you come and you felt so at home. You felt so at home, and we were so with you. It didn't feel like we met for the first time at all. And that's the beauty about Three Hearts meeting, is that when we all get together, we all just connected heart to heart. And just like you say, you know, when we are connected at the energy level, you no longer worry about the physical level. That's between the two of us. And then when you come to the Three Hearts meeting, because the setting, the intention for everybody is literally just to be themselves. There's no judgments, there's no worries or anything. And what's more important was that we all just get together to have fun, right? But in that notion of fun, we also share tears together. Isn't that amazing? Wasn't that magical? It's just so magical, isn't it? And simplicity is all we need, because the world's becoming too complicated, right? You can't say this, you can't do this, and there's so many, you know, not enoughness, you know. I'm not tall enough, I'm not, you know, famous enough, whatever it is. So and at Three Hearts, it's just a space for us all just get together, regardless of who we are, where you're from, all around the world. And we just literally be ourselves and just play games, play 3 simple games and answer 5 questions. Isn't that fun?
That's simple, isn't it? Simple, yet sometimes, yes, people are complicating us, you know, human beings, things. So very simple.
And the beauty about those meetings is that, you know, we can be so creative, we can be so fun, but at the same time, we share the core of who we are, didn't we? Like, you know, you share with us your most profound story, more than what you share today. And it's just such a beautiful, connected space and time for all of us to actually went through that journey with you, so-called, you know, went through that moment with you. And it was just so, so beautiful. And I can only thank the universe for connecting us.
Thank you.
Because we both still don't know how we were connected. We connected at the soul level pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that was so beautiful. But for the viewers who are watching or listening who don't know what Three Hearts is, I'd just like to take a moment just to share with everybody. You might have heard it from other interviews or you might not. If you haven't heard before, Three Hearts represents the underlining message of my book. So heart number 1 is love and connection for ourselves. And heart number 2 is love and connection for each other. And heart number 3 is love and connection for the universe. It's that simple. But it's what we really need to be reminded right now, isn't it? Like, you know, through this time. Yeah. And so with that, I have started the not-for-profit organization, literally calling it Three Hearts. And we literally just celebrated 1 year. Oh, I cannot believe it. We celebrated, yes.
Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you. We celebrated 1 year old. Last year, we started it in Sydney, in-person meeting. The whole idea was to fill in the gap that we need more in-person meeting. But during the peak, the first peak of COVID in March on International Happiness Day, I launched it online because we can no longer see each other in person. And that had brought everyone together all around the world. We literally have people from all 6 continents. The only continent we didn't have people come was from Antarctica. Maybe we need to invite the penguins and the polar. So yeah, it's so heartwarming. Like I'm still living that celebration from the weekend. So much love was shared, but unfortunately, a lot of people couldn't come in due to technical challenges. But the people who could come, we had a ball. We almost couldn't. We went on for over 2 hours. We had
Fantastic.
we had Professor Leif did a special speech for us. Professor Leif is the world-renowned, the first intellectual, the first and world-renowned professor on intellectual capital. He also loved the book's message so much that he had offered to be Three Hearts advisor. So I'm very, very thankful. And then we have Henry Cameron Allen sang for us. We had Steve Gablin did the humorous speech. We had Susan Dow, who is our Three Hearts ambassador. She cited a beautiful poem in all different accents. She's just so talented. She's so talented. It was just so much fun. And we played a fun games, and actually I'm gonna play with you one game. Would you?
All right, okay.
Since you didn't get to make it, I'll play one game with you.
Yes, unfortunately I couldn't.
If you were to come to the party, if the party was a dress-up party, what character would you come in and why?
Oh gosh, do you know what, straight away? I'm going to go with
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Straight away. Okay, what I saw. Listen,
okay, everybody who's listening, play along. If you were to come to our Three Hearts first birthday party, and if you were to come as a dress-up character, what would you dress in and why? Share with us in the comment, either on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever you see this post, or you can even send me the message. I would love to hear. and you can email me at linda@lindaduong, duong.com.au. So here we go. If you were to come as a dress-up character, what would you be and why?
Okay, Linda. Listen truly to my spirit, because I have to go with that straight away. Even you haven't finished what you are about to say, Mother Teresa came through. So I have to go with this, right? And actually there's a bit of story with this, because when I was a little girl, I was so much into I want to go to Africa and save children because I could see, how many children are dying, but my peers couldn't understand. It's like, why are you caring for whole world, So that's truly always resonated with me. And as I said, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be of service. So I could probably, yes, I can imagine myself, just, that empath in me and always, be of service. That is truly who I feel connected with. But it came through, so I had to share this. Intuitive.
Wonderful, wonderful.
What about yourself?
So as a Mother Teresa, what about me? I came as Snow White.
Snow White.
I actually even had my bridal shop called Snow White when I was when I had a wedding dress boutique. It actually called Snow White.
Oh, really?
I forgot to share with everybody at the party. So I would come as Snow White with all the dwarfs are my ambassadors.
I like this.
And I love nature. Yes. As I share in the book, I want everybody to connect with nature more. So with the 7 dwarfs, we'll just be in nature, out and having fun, away from the chaos in the world. Just have fun. And here's a little question. As Mother Teresa, where would you be now, and what would you be doing?
Okay. This leads me to addressing my capacity visibility, which I'm struggling with. Okay, so to allow myself to be visible and not to be okay with it. Okay, even like today, I shared just before we came on online. It's incredible how we can sabotage ourselves. I was so close not to turn up for this interview because of the fears of speaking, so yes, so definitely,
so where would you be? Where would you be as Mother Teresa? Mm-hmm. Where would you be now, and what would you be creating, or what would you be doing?
So definitely, empowerment, more healings for others, helping, precisely what you're doing, Linda, helping people to access that power we all have within ourselves. This is the time, as a Mother Teresa, I will be addressing the nation, saying, look, this is a time came to look within ourselves, do the own healings, okay, address all the traumas, unresolved traumas from the past, healings, hurts, which as a humans we tend to compress and suppress and just put to the side. Right now it's the time to look into that, to sit in that space. It might be uncomfortable, but believe me, it will come through us. As I say that, I'm just getting a lot of goosebumps because I can feel this is, yeah, it's being shared. So basically sit in that space of feeling maybe uncomfortable, all those pains, past, present pains, and allow it to move through us and allow the Mother Earth to absorb it, so to speak. So just be in that space and be okay, knowing things are working okay.
Just reminded me that after 3 Hearts meeting, you literally release all what you needed to release, and you're literally showing up today, sharing that example. And that's what we all do in 3 Hearts, is that we're just being us, but without any big fancy name, big fancy title. We're leading by example. So I want to congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you for sharing that. So that is so true. If we don't heal ourselves, we can't heal other people. If we don't help ourselves, we can't help other people. And that's why, when people ask me, what do you do? I'm a life coach. I'm a self-leadership coach. So I help other people to become the self-leader. Before we can lead others, we must be able to lead ourselves. And when we can lead ourselves, we can lead our family, our children, our clients, our business, our community. It transforms from within. Whereas when you lead from outside, purposes is very different, isn't it? You know, when you lead from other reasons, it's not as grounded. You know, you get shaken, you get
You
challenged.
can go, yeah.
You get challenged by ego, you get challenged by am I not enough, am I enough? You get challenged by the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Whereas when you lead from within, just being who we are is a lot more solid and grounded. Yeah,
It's liberating. It's liberating, definitely. Yes.
yeah. Thank you for, you know, stepping in to just be who you are. And now you're able to go forth to help a lot more people. So I want to congratulate you on that. You know, I just remember that night when you come to Three Hearts meeting, it was just such a powerful moment, wasn't it? So would you say from then till now, you have gone through this transformational process then? Because a lot has happened since then, hasn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. Three Hearts meetings really allow me, I didn't feel like I'm going to be judged for opening up, and especially that lots of people see me as very strong person. But I'm okay to show my vulnerability because otherwise I wouldn't be true to myself, because I am, as we all have vulnerable parts of ourselves, but to be okay with that, So absolutely, I mean, also watching you, Linda, okay, you show me the power of, setting boundaries. As an empath, I tend to always put others before myself, but I realized, I have to make sure that I am okay first, and we have to make sure that we are okay first in order to help others, right? So saying no, I feel much more comfortable now, because I know it's good selfishness, because I need to make sure that I am okay in order to be there for others. So to, help me with relationships, and it's truly amazing.
Thank you for sharing that as well.
Yeah.
It is so true. As empaths, we can get so bogged down. We keep saying yes, 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 yes. So I've gone through the whole journey myself to a point where I almost just could not function, so-called. I was helping people. So that happened since I was early age. You read the book, so you probably would know the stories. So as young as I was always listening to people. I was always there for people, even though I could not do much as a young person, but it was the emotional. It was the emotional space and the spiritual space that I was always lending it out. And then until when I was, 18, 21, during that time was most crucial because everybody was older than me. All of my friends was in their 30s. So therefore, the heaviness goes with it as well. And so until I come to a point, I just realized I can't do this anymore because I'm not serving them well. If I collapse, I cannot serve anybody. So then it took many lessons to learn that I need to set boundary for myself, not just for other people, but for myself to know that, okay, pause, stop. I need to refuel before I can offer more. Otherwise, I'll be doing a disservice. Otherwise, I won't be able to show up full power, full presence, full energy, full enthusiasm and passion. And so that's what I had to learn. And so I'm so glad that, that has added value to you as well. Talking about all of this, it just made me curious now. Is there a favorite story or chapter in the book when you read?
I just have that in mind actually, because that flows very nicely as well what you said. So what I think that's chapter that I've just written here, 8. Experience comes second, but mind power first. I really truly resonate with that. Okay, and also what you were saying about learning to be steady. and stand tall and embrace our own voice, space, and our presence. And this is powerful, and that's honoring, who we are, honoring the healthy boundaries, and how we can show up in the world and to be of service. So yeah, it's like also the knowledge what we're gaining throughout our life is not as powerful as the application of it, and that's what you're teaching people, Linda, beautifully. Those simple strategies, because we can overwhelm ourselves on mental level with all the knowledge coming in, and I've been doing a lot of, I've held so many, certificates I've invest some thousands of pounds into, holding all, learning, but it's the application, it's powerful, and the discipline, self-discipline to apply and just start right now. Anything, simple steps, again, what you're saying in the book, we don't have to know the whole journey. We don't have to know how to implement things, just start right now with healthy habit. I don't know, even eating an apple, if you haven't been, eating healthy, just like, right, okay, apple a day, and then maybe start walking if you can't get yourself into running or, or doing, exercise, just maybe walking within the nature and building on that. And that's what then is happening. Our vibration, our frequencies tend to raising, and then we connecting more within ourselves, and the intuition comes through easier. So, and then we got all this, we're having the inspiration coming through, and then we can take the action based on those inspirations that are powerful, which we wouldn't know otherwise if we haven't started working on ourselves.
I know. Isn't it so true that these days there's so much information, isn't it? We all go through information overload,
Yeah.
There's so much information on the internet, on social media, and everywhere. And we all can get overwhelmed so easily. So it's just very healthy to go back to basic,
Yeah.
to just apply the most simple things every day. And yet that's when transformations happen. The simple habit, simple as, like you said, like I said in the book, an apple a day. I know it sounds so super simple, but really, truly, when we go busy, you forget, right? You forget, even simple as drinking water. I'm constantly reminding people, drink water. From my talks to at home to everywhere I go, I just keep saying, drink water, because especially when you get busy, you forget.
Yeah.
You forget, and as a human, we are fragile, and yet we are tough and strong at the same time. We can be quite lasting. That's why people keep pushing through it, But yes, the simple things in life are often the best, isn't it?
And
Have an
you
apple
are
a day. Yeah.
And I think for me as well, you're showing up, in my life at that time where I had so many projects start, here, there. I felt like overwhelmed as well in a way, I'm thinking I need to narrow my focus. And I remember speaking to you as well, and so like we need to, be intentional about, where we giving our energy as well, whether we aligned with that, because that's crucial. Otherwise, we just go into overwhelm. And yes, the simple reminders. I think the simplicity, because I always wanted to simplify things as well. And you came, in the time of like, simplicity is the way forward, which absolutely is.
So anybody know Linda now would know that everything about me is just simplicity. It's just so simple. But everything comes with a lot easier for execution, because when it's simple, it's just easier to take action. When it's so complicated, you actually prevent yourself from taking actions. And I'm just so pleased that you're getting so much value out of the book, out of Three Hearts Meeting, out of meeting me simply, connecting with me. So then comes to the big question, what actions have you taken then after reading the book or after attending Three Hearts Meeting? Let's start with the book first. After what has happened then after reading the book?
I might repeat myself here, but it's very much about, it's the healthy boundaries. Okay, definitely. I put in place in order for me to actually be of service better, because otherwise I was just spread myself too thin everywhere. So it's like narrowing that space, and so that helped me implementing things easier, because the focus it's more on certain things, and I'm saying no without feeling guilty to some other projects or people's invitations, because I need to have that focus where I'm actually going, what I want to do. Otherwise, as you said, I will be doing the service because I will be everywhere and anywhere, not being aligned, with what I'm trying to achieve and where I want to be. Yes, so that's definitely, and being more self-discipline with writing my book. And yes, so that's definitely allow me to to do that. So
That's incredible. What about after
thank
Three
you,
Hearts
Linda.
meeting? Pleasure, pleasure. What about after Three Hearts meeting? What has happened since then?
After Free Hearts meetings,
Only if it's okay to share. It's okay if you, but I just know a lot of things has happened.
yeah.
So what is the ultimate thing that has happened? Like what is the results?
Okay, so yes, there was some fun, some things which I kind of buried deeply within my psyche, which needed healing, and coming to the Free Heart meetings, as you know, allow me to bring that to the surface and shine a light, so to speak, on that aspect within myself, which I kind of suppressed as well, and didn't want to look at it for a long time. So yes, thank you, Linda. So absolutely, that helped me to clear that, and I can truly be more who I am within myself.
So now you're able to step into your own presence, to shine your light, to be truly who you are, who you want to be, and who your potential is. That's amazing. Congratulations. That's so,
thank you.
Yeah, that is big. That is big. We have to cheers for that. We have to throw a party for that.
And can I just say that's also that part where we might as a human tend to withdraw, and we have to be conscious about this and keep saying yes to yourself and keep saying yes to opportunities, and not to bring yourself back into that space maybe. So it's always still a bit of work, even that, to make sure that that transition goes smoothly, so to speak. Because, if we go into negativity, we can bring back some of these aspects, as you know yourself, our mind is powerful. So it's the focus, keep, staying on that path. So
and that's why the Three Hearts meeting is so good, because each time you come, you share a bit more. Each time you come, you open up a bit more. And more importantly, we're there to honor each other. We're there to celebrate each other and honor each other, and share each other's lowlights and challenges without any judgment at all. And that's how we're able to help each other to step into who we truly are gradually. But for you, it's exceptional. You just step into it. You just step into it and you just go, boom, this is me. And now you get to shine your light, be the healer you're meant to be. And since then, you've been helping more people. I think most importantly, you have owned that power. You have owned that presence of being a healer, of being who you are.
I want to teach others that to step in their own powers and to shine their own lights, because this is the time right now. This is the time to honor ourselves and who we truly are. And we are very powerful spiritual beings, with mental faculties and having physical bodies here on earth.
That's amazing. Congratulations, congratulations. It's all amazing. It's such powerful stories you have. Thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I want to say
thank you, Linda.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Before we go, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in, for watching or listening. We'll have more stories to come. And if you have read the book and you'd like to be on the show, get in touch. If you haven't read the book, you can go to my website at lindaduong.com.au and get the introductory chapter for free. And yeah, well, I look forward to have you all on the show as well. And thank you so much once again, Lucyna, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you very much for your presence in my life. Thank
you. Thank you.